I'm going to see if we get something going here tonight. If not, I'm going to probably turn in and call it an early night. This is the end of my little trip out here to Minneapolis. And I must say that it's good that I spent I mean, not that it's good that I spent the second day here, but it's always important when visiting a city to spend that second day, I think, to get the true feel for it. Because yesterday, I had nothing but great things to say about the city of Minneapolis. Day later, I don't like it as much as I did before. As I've been quick to say, I really feel like that the portrayal of that the Coen brothers pulled off in the movie Fargo. I feel like that's pretty accurate for people in this part of the country. I don't know if it's just like, when you make eye contact with people, it disorients them or something, but didn't have I mean, I had an amazing time today. As I said, maybe on a thread here or wherever, is sometimes as a gambler, I'm a high volume gambler. And what I do is I bet a lot of things and you just hope to win more than you lose. You hope that the pluses outweigh the minuses, and it's a long term game. Sometimes you have some short term, cold stretches. Sometimes you have some absolute hot streaks. As long as you manage yourself along the way, you should be good if you know what you're doing. Hadn't really had the good best run of things betting wise, to be honest with you. A couple little flashes of brilliance to keep me treading water. But today was one of those days where I hit fucking everything. Actually, yesterday the only real blemish I had. I mean, I had some parlay action that didn't plan out. But yesterday the big hit that I had against me was, I mean, Pablo Lopez not getting the 5 strikeouts, but the whole Kyle Isbell situation of that him and I got our hair cut by the same person. I felt great about myself today, and I was like, thinking I probably played that wrong. He probably feels pretty good about himself with a good haircut. So I took him today. He's not a big time player. He bats ninth in the lineup usually, it seems like, but he only to get one hit or to get one total base was like minus 150. Hammered that one for the 200 that I lost on him yesterday, and bam, back in business on that one. I felt good about the Twins. I thought that something must be good if they had a rookie pitcher guy making his debut, and they went from being short favorites to bigger favorites. So followed the action on that one, went big with them. I've been doing the thing I mentioned everybody on my little post here. If you follow them, betting the Dodgers every day. That's been working out pretty well. As far as if you bet a flat unit on them every day, I think they've only lost like 2 or 3 games in August so far, and we're on the 13th or 14th, so almost 14th. We're on the 13th, so that's pretty good if you've been playing that one. And I followed Shohei Ohtani just for whatever reason. I just decided, hey, let's go with the total bases. They had some ridiculous number on the juice at like minus 160. I don't know how they get so precise with that. I don't want to say that always the Vegas knows, but when he hits a home run and as hard as he hit one today, must be something good going on there. So cash that one. So I ended up walking up quite a winner on this trip today. And I had the whole incident where the target field, I couldn't even sit in my own seats. Didn't even enjoy myself at the game today. I ended up yesterday I had good seats. Today I went with a cheap seats, which apparently is where everybody at Target Field sits. So initially I sit down and I have the seat at the end of the aisle. I get that so that way if I want to get up, I don't have to bother people all the time. It's a great rule that they have at ballparks. I want to say that that's what caused this one, but I believe that kids of under a certain age get it for free, which is wonderful. Get them into baseball. Totally get that one. The issue that we had was that the row that I was in, a big family came in and they had a bunch of kids there. So they were occupying some seats. Then another big family came in, and this was earlier before the game. The section was pretty empty. So I decided I would say, hey, hey, you guys can take my seat. And I just moved up to a different seat. The problem then became that the seat that I took, somebody came for. And then eventually we got to the point where I went back to the seat that I had actually paid for, and the guy who I'd told to sit there, he didn't quite comprehend that I wanted my seat back. It seems like that every time that I try to really explain myself to any type of misunderstanding in this part of the country, it seems like that, or at least in this city, it seemed like that there was an issue with it. There seemed like there was a miscommunication along the way somewhere. Kind of like when I was in a coffee place. I don't know. I'm not even going to go down that one. Just weird that you have to enter in a combination to use a bathroom. I get it. Official, let's see. I got content on my channel worth wasting time to watch, and more Spokane, Washington content on the way. Hey, I'll give it a shot, man. I'm on the road. I got nothing else to watch. Give me a subscribe. I'll subscribe back to you. The Official all black tee? Sure. I was actually normally I wear a black t-shirt to baseball games. It's my official all black tee. I don't understand anything that says. Hopefully, it's Shohei Otani related. If it's I mean, I hope it's Japanese or it's definitely a language I don't understand. It's got symbols in it, so if we can try. Hello from Japan. All right, Shohei Otani. Long live Shohei Otani. All right, someone I look like Germany in that there. I don't know. Vorum get dem video. I did speak a little bit of German. It's the American number one country. Yeah, I mean, I don't know any differently. It's worked out well for me. I can totally understand how we get. Can I pet that dog? What dog? I don't have a dog here. There is no. I mean, I got a pen. I get my weed pen. This is what I like doing here. Just talking to complete strangers on a live stream. But yeah, so I ended up. It just seemed like one of those things with how tired I've been. I worked myself pretty hard today, walking around this entire city that I just didn't even want to give up or I just didn't wasn't even worth it. Just didn't want to give my seat back. Is means hi. What the hell is about the video? What is about the video? I'm just talking about a trip to Target Field, man. I can't understand the German on there, man. I can't. Maybe I can translate that one later. Visited Target Field. I didn't. There was bratwurst there. I didn't eat it. In fact, that was another thing with Target Field. I had they had dollar hot dogs. I found this one out. There was like the Family Value stand. I walked past, and I saw they had cheap hot dogs. It said $5. Then you went to the self checkouts, which the real big honor system. Where you at? Where are you from? Right now, I'm in Minneapolis. I am from Albany, New York, or Troy, New York specifically. I don't know. I say Albany because people may have heard of it as the capital, but I don't know. I doubt anyone's heard of it. I'm from New York and not New York City. That's probably the easiest way to describe it. Uh, yeah, so just didn't even really think putting up with that whole thing. Ended up sitting in a little side section, but the bets that I made today, I had this one parlay. It did say parlaying is stupid. Bye bye. Sorry, still learning English. No, that's okay. I mean, go Otani. That's all I say. Go Shohei. But I'm sure I'll translate it down later. I'm probably not the best person to learn English from. I speak it at a rip to fire pace and probably don't speak it properly. Aus Maryland. I've been down to Maryland. I was just at Camden Yards. Camden Yards is one of my favorite. Actually, it was my favorite ballpark in USA, Maryland. Yeah, sure. I've went down there to Camden Yards. Went to the Cookies dispensary, which was kind of like being in a trap house. I felt like, but able to buy some pre rolls for the trip, so that was fun. But yeah, so I ended up sitting out in the outfield for a little while, which I was gonna maybe get some alternate angles. Nothing that I really missed any good action, but one of the reasons I came, I posted the shorts. If you've been following my page, if you want to subscribe, like, comments, share all that good stuff. I was getting some good videos of Bobby Witt and Royce Lewis. And then I was in this spot in the outfield. And I'm like, oh, cool, I'm by myself. It doesn't seem like I have to worry about bothering anybody out here. And then all of a sudden, all these young, pretty girls decided to sit. Live as a child, and I went to school in Albany. How do you like Troy? I don't live in Troy anymore. I live in outside of Albany now, Colony. Troy's all right. I mean, I wouldn't change growing up there for anything, but I don't know. It's just, I guess it's different when you know everybody. If you're not from there, I mean, I could see how it could be a cool, hip place to live as a young person. Hey, man, I want to hear a Christmas story. It's a minute long and inappropriate. You're going to have to scroll up. Yeah, I'm always down for hearing an inappropriate story. The real Jonathan Davis. There's no way that's the guy from Korn, by the way. But yeah. So as I'm going to say, I'm able to bounce back in these comments. It was night before Christmas and all through the house. Everyone was stoned, even the man from the mouse. Yeah, I'm pretty stoned right now. Okay, that's not that inappropriate. Trust me, I could say much worse things if I felt free. If I had the inspiration to. If somebody really wanted to set one up on a tee for me, I could knock it out of the park like Bobby Witt and Royce Lewis did yesterday. Which, who am I voting for? That doesn't matter who I'm voting for. It doesn't matter. What's going to happen, what is going to happen. I don't really care to discuss my politics. I'll just say that I probably don't vote for who they think I'm going to vote for. And I don't think I would want to tell people who I'm voting for in the city that I'm in right now. I'll just say that much. That's also if I even feel like voting. You know, I'm the real Jonathan Davis from Korn. That would be absolutely amazing. Kamal 2024. All right, yeah, sure. I mean, if that works for you. Say a cuss word, fuck. Why would, are you going to get reported or something? I don't care. Let's go Kamala. Yeah, sure. I mean, whatever, I mean, I just find it strange that she just out of nowhere became I remember when the last time she was going to run for president, she wasn't received very well. at least she's younger. I mean, that's the one thing. I'm all for somebody that's not 80 years old. I can say that much. Um, you're not original something. Okay, well, that's whatever. Yeah, that's. I guess if that's supposed to be how corn sounds, yeah, no, I don't really want an old presidential candidate. That's any of them. Anyone that they've lost touch. I mean, I'm almost 40 years old. I have lost any touch with young people myself, and I wasn't young that long ago, so I can't imagine how far out of touch they all are. And she's hot. I mean, yeah. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think that I couldn't date Kamala. I could certainly have an evening with her. I don't know if I could put up with the. I like to make jokes, so I'm not really being that funny throughout all of this. But if I was, really on a good roll, I don't know if I could handle that laugh too much. But yeah, I mean, anybody can be fun for a night, or two, or a weekend if under the right circumstances and the right substances, you know, anybody can. Yeah, it's just is what it is. So I ended up. I was gonna get out of Target Field today, and I was gonna go to a nice steakhouse. I was up a bunch of money. I just joined. Hello, welcome, Sonic Kid and Mario. That's obviously a gamer there. Okay, thank you for joining into the Scho-Zone. Was gonna go to a. I was like, oh, there's probably you can go to a nice dinner, get a nice steak. I ate a late lunch. I had decent chicken wings at some Irish bar and some soup, which they looked at me a little weird because I was eating it as fast as I. What's up? Yeah, absolutely. Got any kids? No, no kids. No kids. Single, not married, no kids. Just kind of existing in this world right now. You guys do with it what you want. I'll just try and do my thing and not bother anybody, which is kind of what ended up happening. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to bother anybody at the steakhouse. I went divorced? No, never got married. It's imagine that. Nobody's ever wanted to put up with it. I don't think I was really putting. I was hoping the kids about to throw a party. Nah, for what? Why would me having kids be worth having a party? What if I had like a 7 year old? Like it would just be like a random thing. I uh, I wasn't probably putting a version of myself out there worth marrying. I mean, I had a couple of close ones, but oh, you're P Diddy? Oh shit, yeah, that's right. So apparently that's the whole thing. I'm a casual. Or you're a casual. That's your whole thing. The CIA. Yeah, okay, yeah. These are. I like. Is this is an interesting one. People just use these fake handles and just jump in on threads. I mean, helps me. I guess I'm getting some watch time and some boosts. Someone got to get this man out of here. Which one? Is that me or is that you? This is my party. You can leave anytime you want to. I'm just hanging out here. But so I want to celebrate you at the very least deserve a divorce. No offense, but good for you. Oh, thank you. I guess that's a compliment. I at least deserve a divorce. I ended up just nipping it in the bud. Elon, I would vote for you just because you're fucking, you're an interesting cat. And you kind of just you have fuck you money and you abuse it, and I like that. You're not evil. Are you ready for a little knowledge and get ready to go down the information rabbit hole? If you decide to look it up, be careful. You won't be able to stop. Yeah, sure. What the hell? We need Trumpy Dumpy. Someone got to get a P. Diddy out of here. Yeah, I mean, if it was the real P. Diddy, I'd tell him to get the fuck out of here. If P. Diddy was in my hotel room, I would really be fucking in a world of concern and struggles, I would say. Uh, so was gonna celebrate my big victory by going to a steakhouse, but I pounded a bunch of water and just really wasn't like feeling that good. All of a sudden, I was like, all right. So I still got an Uber to this one place that said they were open. I was another thing. All the good places, it was like 8:30. All the good places said close at 9. Didn't want to be the guy that came right before close. I know how much of an asshole that guy can be, so I didn't do it. Look for places that were open till 10 o'clock. Went to this one place, sure, got it dropped off in the Uber. It did not, based on the prices of the menu, I was not expecting it to be anything spectacular. I was dressed like so, and also I had stopped on the way back and there was a Red Bull truck and they were giving out free sugar-free Red Bulls. We'll read that in a second. Giving out buffers of free sugar-free Red Bulls. I forgot I had one in my pocket, so that looked like a fucking like nice little bulge or something, so I didn't really want to have that look going. Was wearing a ball cap, t-shirts. I looked in, everyone looked like they were dressed on like, really nice dates and whatnot. And I was like, just based on the way that everyone's been in this town, even if they do let me in here, I'm not going to feel very welcome. I haven't really felt welcome in many places in Minneapolis. The Minneapolis ice or Minnesota ice, I've been feeling that, not the Minnesota nice. All right, let's see. Every astral symbol also represents electrical symbol as well. So one can read electrical symbols and blueprints, and they'll be able to read the astral symbols and blueprints. Well, I don't know what that means for Geminis, if that's a blueprint for anything. Can you elaborate that one on for me, Vinny Luke? Chris Hansen, all right, yeah. It was, the person that I always try to avoid. It's always one of my favorite Adam Carolla jokes. If you're ever gonna go down that road, at least send a delivery guy over to scout out the location for you. That's not mine. That's Adam Carolla's. But ended up not really feeling the steakhouse, so I was like, you know what? Let's just go back to the hotel room, relax, hit the pen a couple times, and then I was just like, you know what? Nothing's really open that late. Let's abuse some Uber Eats. And this one place I was actually thinking about going to on my own had buy one get one burgers, so I just ended up mowing down pretty hard and just winding down, relaxing. I've walked between the 2 days now. Granted, there was airports and ballpark wandering and stuff, but I'd say I walked about 20 miles in the city of Minneapolis in the past 2 days. And yeah, I mean, I guess I can see. I don't know what I want to know what it looked like before the riots and what it looked like afterwards. Because some places they seem like they're not in bad areas. They just seem like they maybe had a bad weekend or something. Uh, yeah, there's some neglected parts of it. Mostly, I mean, it just seems like that the downtown is just I didn't really see a place where I could be like, oh, I would definitely live in downtown Minneapolis. I'll just say that much. Not because I felt like it was like dirty or I thought it was clean for the most part. Went to a couple parks. Actually, had this really embarrassing. Yeah, I'm always down to hear a joke. Had an embarrassing moment for you if anyone wants to hear a funny, embarrassing me story, or maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But I went to what was the name of the park? I think it was Gold Medal Park in Minneapolis, and they've got this like little spiral ramp that you can walk up to. So on the top of this, there's not really a view of much or anything. You just kind of sit up there. And I was like, all right, sit up there, relax. Maybe get a little privacy for a minute. I had my earbuds in. Not that I was listening to any music or I wasn't listening too loud. And I was scrolling through my phone reading something. And if you've eaten a lot of food and you've been walking around and working out a lot, things kind of getting percolating in the old bowel system and kind of leaned up and completely ripped some fucking just major ass. And I don't know if it had a smell because it may have been a downwind or whatever. But then when I was going to leave, like a minute or so later, I look up and there was a pretty decent looking chick who was not there when I sat down. But when I went to get up, which was only a few minutes later, she was sitting there. She looked like she had been there for a little bit. So was probably like the worst first impression I could probably give. So I just let that one be. Step one at your funeral, playing emotional songs. Step two, play Highway to Hell afterwards. Okay. I mean, I sure. I guess that was wasn't bad. I mean, I could see the humor in it. If it was like a sketch or something, and I saw that happening, wouldn't be too terrible. But yeah, I told myself I was gonna. You see, I lost people as soon as I said the but. I can't do that anymore. This is all about the practice, and like I said, I think I'm gonna be doing. I gotta stop saying the like I said too. It's all about kind of studying the game tape. Do you know how cringeworthy it is having to rewatch these when I'm trying to do this and get a little bit of a following? I must say, Paige Buchers or Paige Buckers, is that what her name is? The women's basketball player. That's a pretty big deal that she was throwing out the first pitch today. Wasn't a strike, I don't think, but she made it all the way there. And on the scoreboard, you can definitely tell that she's a professional athlete or just looks a little different than the average female as far as they had her on the big screen. And it's just like, Jesus, I mean, it's like, looks like they chiseled her from stone as far as I'm concerned. But beautiful girl, great basketball player, and nail a good first throw. I mean, they had a couple times. I mean, they had like 3 first throws at Target Field today. There was 2 little kids that made throws. I can't imagine. As an adult, I mean, that's a goal at some point too. I'd want to be able to throw out a first pitch at a ballpark. I could not imagine doing that as a kid, even though the stands weren't that big, packed. Target too. I don't know when you're looking at the field. Are you just visiting Minnesota? And hi, yeah, hi Jen. Yeah, I just came to visit Target Field. I'm checking off ballparks all across America, and I just happened to be in town for the evening. So, I mean, I've been here the past 2 days. I'll be here in the morning. I think I'm gonna hit up Hell's Kitchen. It's a place I heard of that apparently is very touristy. The one lady that wasn't so friendly at the one place I ate lunch at told me they got these lemon ricotta pancakes. They sound awesome, so I'm gonna give those a shot. Why, Jen? Are you in Minnesota? Do you know anything I need to know about this place? I'm always looking for advice while I'm on traveling. Or where are you from? And where should I go? Is there anything fun going on where you're at? Because now that I hit this nice little the score of the bets today, that means that all the money I spent on this trip is kind of covered. As far as played the travel game pretty well with the cards and earned some points. Also, didn't really spend a ton on many things. From Boston, actually, lots of fun here. Yeah, I went to Boston. I mean, I'm like 3 hours from you. I've been to Boston plenty of times. Went to Fenway Park with my mother actually earlier. Should I meet up with him before this chat? Yeah, sure. Why not? You know, I'm owed a divorce. Somebody said that I deserve to be divorced. So let's give that one a shot. Trust me, I'm sure it'll be the if we let's how about this? Let's get married. Then let's see how quickly you reverse your decision. Did we make it through the first meal afterwards? How's my day going? My day is going wonderful. Just joined. I'm just traveling. I think we got 6 of us in here right now. Everyone tell me where you're at, where you're from. Maybe I'll be in your city at some point soon. Yeah, so coming out ahead on this trip as far as you spend the money to pay for a trip, and if it works out, it's good. With the gambling thing, it's always nice. Trips can get a little more expensive. You're Latin. I'm sure that means that you're sexy then. If you're happen to have a good little stretch with the gambling, then you can kind of make the trip a little free one. So if you don't have to spend a lot of money on the road if you want to make it interesting. Try it that way. Hit a parlay, then suddenly treat yourself to a good day. Now I think I'm probably looking at the most feasible trips for me to finish up this season with are probably going to be Toronto and or Cincinnati. I think that's going to be the way to do it. I could potentially fly down south. There's a couple of ballparks I could hit up in a couple days. There's a lot of travel involved with that one, and I don't know. I'm starting to wear down. Okay, we got some more likes here, more people in, so thanks for joining. Make sure you're subscribing to this thing. If I get some good feedback, and hit me up at the Scho-Zone podcast. That was cute. Marriage is for overrated and divorce is expensive. A little too far to visit tonight. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, some other time. I mean, when I'm in Albany, I know some places in Albany, or I can meet you out there if you a good place for a lobster roll, or come to Saratoga Racetrack. I'm gonna be in Saratoga next Wednesday. We'll bet the ponies. They have Manhattan clam chowder there. I'm not sure if that's gonna bother you, but Manhattan clam chowder's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the worst. If you can handle me at the racetrack, what's that thing the girls say? If you can't handle me, my worst. You don't deserve me my best. Me at the racetrack, probably one of the worst versions of me you could possibly get. But yeah, I don't know. Do I go hat off? Yeah, sure. Let's stick the hat on, hat off. Yeah, I guess I'll go with the hat on. So yeah, I'm the worst. I'm just gonna hit the vape on here. I lost a few people when I did that, but I'm going to be heading out of here tomorrow, and I'm actually always hoping, too, there's actually the real game changer would be, and I always schedule the afternoon flight. One of the reasons I like traveling alone and not relying on really anybody is that I'm hoping that, and especially with American Airlines, they've done this a couple times. They did it one time, big time before. Things always get screwed up, especially when they had all the weather that they had this past couple of days around the country. I'm thinking that, I'm hoping that they offer up anybody. My favorite game to play is how much to give up your seat on a plane, because that's just a great way to pad up the travel fund going forward, too. But we're up to 15 total ballparks now. Now I really have to, I've done just about everything I can do by car for the most part. So it's going to have to be a lot of these stay-in trips. So again, that's why I'm going to try to get this one going, because I would love to have something to, some kind of following and waiting. My family is full of gamblers. I think I can handle you. How old are you? I'm 39 years old. Turning 40 pretty soon, but wired like I'm like that much older. I mean, if you were in divorce, it's worth it because marrying in the first place. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure I'm more. I mean, at one point in time, I don't think I was. I'm pretty sure I am right now. Marry me right now. Yeah, sure. I mean, when do we consummate? I mean, that's, well, if Jen's in Boston, well, I'm not sure what kind of land, but, I'm your typical Irish Catholic boy, okay? I'm reformed alcoholic now because I had to have, non-drinking alcoholic, I'll call myself. I haven't had a drink in over 2 years. That's probably part of the reason why I never got married. Probably people mostly saw the divorce coming on there. I always like the idea of a sham wedding, and actually, Jen, this might be your way out of this one too. Is if you want to do the sham wedding, there's a lot of people that would probably fall for it. Me meeting somebody on one of my podcasts and deciding to marry them, people would probably be okay with that one. we have the wedding, we get the gifts. No one is going to be shocked if a week later you gotta try him before I marry him. Oh wow, well I mean, hey, like I said, 3 hours away. And speaking of Saratoga, you know, built like I'm not hung like a thoroughbred. I just race like one. What can I say? You know. But this is okay. I just lost everybody with that one. This is good stuff. But this is this is the Scho-Zone. It's just fucking free flowing conversation with strangers. I'm hoping to see that I got some new subscriptions off of this one, and you know, like I said, hit me up at the Scho. Jen, send me a picture to my email, the Scho-Zone podcast, THESCHO podcast at gmail.com. I think it's somewhere along this page here. Subscribe to it. Good for you on the sobriety. Oh my God, Jen, you were forward, girl. Yeah, well, that's how we are in the Northeast. You know, she's a Boston girl. You know. Uh-oh, now I'm alone. What do you mean now you're alone? Or, I mean, if you're alone, you could probably send me an even better picture. But I mean, hey, you know, just like I said, the Scho-Zone podcast. I'm probably going to get something that's not you, I'd imagine, or someone's going to send anything. You subbed. All right, awesome. Thanks for doing that. You know, and if you're a baseball fan, and I will tell you this, Jen, big thing I liked about Fenway Park. Aside from, you know, it's nice going there for a museum purpose. I almost like the time before the game than the actual game, because if you sit in the grandstand like I did, the lost sight, it kills me. Only ballpark I've been to, and I've been to like 12 or 13 this summer, that has spicy brown mustard, which is really big for me because that's what should go on every hot dog. If you put ketchup on a hot dog, you went down to one. I thought we really scared them away. Oh, come on now. We're just, you know, I mean, maybe they just want to give us some privacy. You know, they just want us to, you know, just to be a private conversation. Who knows? But yeah, Fenway, I went there. They kicked ass when I was there. Devers hit 2 home runs. Yeah, no, we back up. I don't know if these numbers are ever reliable on these things. I get up seeing all kinds of weird shit afterwards, but I don't know how you guys found me. I mean, tell me how you guys found me and what are you guys doing here? Yeah, dates. That would probably make for good context. Ryan, you know, goes with the listener. You know, that would be the total Scho-Zone stuff right there. And then who knows? Maybe it turns into an OnlyFans and we actually start making some money off this. CV? I don't know what CV means on that one. I don't drink alcohol anymore, but Jen, are you 420 friendly? I mean, you can handle the gambling. I'll tell you, I mean, the racetrack's, again, the worst place to meet me because you don't really win at the racetrack. But hell of a day today on the base paths, that's for sure. Now, just got to keep that momentum going. I'll send you a pic. If it's not from Jen's email, it's not me. If it's not from a Jen email, it's not me. Oh, this is fun. I got a fan now. What can I say? All right, this is something different. Golden's mustard? No, it wasn't Golden's actually. 420, yes, not a drinker. Jen, we really are kindred. We're meant to be. I go out to, if you're in Boston, I go out to Pittsfield an awful lot actually to go to Berkshire Roots. That's when and they have a shop in Boston. It's ridiculous how much better I live. It takes me about an hour to get there from where I live. There's dispensaries 5 minutes from my house. They all fucking suck. The ones in Boston are the ones that are, I should say, in Massachusetts. I still go to Berkshire Roots. I drive past a couple to get to there, and it's the most inconvenient one to get to in that town. I still go there. I can get shit. I spend like $100 sometimes when I go there, maybe like 200. And if I was to buy that much in New York, it would cost me like $500. And every time I see the Welcome into New York, Western Mass, is that what that is? Yeah, I guess because I'm coming from Albany. So I stop out in Pittsfield once every couple of weeks. Massachusetts has got the weed game down cold. I'd say that's, you know, I get fucking signature product at their taxes, like $26 an eighth maybe or something like that. You know, you can buy it in bulk. I mean, they got all kinds of their own shit. They just got a lot cheaper. So, I mean, as far as ranking the weed states, the one thing I will say in Massachusetts, they're weak on their edible game. That's one thing where Missouri stepped it up. Missouri was pretty nice with the THC game. As far as I bought 100 milligram edible, which I flew with. You could buy 20 gram ones in packs, so that was pretty good. I think it was meant to be just only like 100 maybe, or you could buy 200 milligrams in a package there. The flower itself, I don't think I actually smoked any. Or I did smoke some flower. It was a pre roll. Not a big fan of pre rolls for the most part. They're usually packed way too tight, and really good weed when it burns down just ends up getting way too like resiny, and it just ends up canoeing like shit. So I like this was one portion of Illinois. Illinois was really weird. I had to like really navigate the deals there because if not, it was going to be super super expensive. Um, yeah, I just had a little battery shortage there. We're going to have to probably end this pretty soon because I'm running low on battery on my phone. But running at half an hour, and I still got some of you there. Jen's a new fan of mine, so appreciate having you, Jen. Tell some other friends. I'm not too far away, so you guys can come meet me at Saratoga or there's Rivers Casino. Pre-rolled are unsuckable. Yeah, yeah. So wow. It's like, yeah, you totally get me on this one. One thing that I do like when you get is a chillum. Although I would say it was a nice, funny look in Chicago, because I just like like a quick hit of flower. Like I smoked gravity bongs for a good portion of my life. I want to say there was probably about a decade that majority of the pot I smoked. Are you gonna thank me to introduce my future wife? Yeah, Elle. Sure. Fucking send me your email information. We'll fucking make sure you get invited to that one. We'll have a nice big happy fucking get together. Or maybe I'll have you be like the producer for the live stream of our first date, so that way I don't have to focus on all this stuff. Or you can, who knows? We'll get you involved in this one. Or when me and Jen, like I said, when we meet on the internet, can I officiate? Yeah, sure. Fucking, we'll figure out a spot. Where are you at, Al? Or Jen, are we gonna go to Vegas, Jen? After we hit at Saratoga. But Illinois, you can buy. I remember just buying a chillum and hitting it on the streets, which the way it's some things. You're in Rochester, New York, where I used to live for like 15 years. Well, stay safe in Rochester. Rochester, as I posted a thread about being in Rochester, multiple people were telling me, bring us a good gift. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we just kind of did some of our registry right there. I'm sure it's something 420 friendly. Don't bring us a pre-roll, that's for sure. But yeah, no, Missouri did it pretty well. Milwaukee, they don't have anything. Here's weird. You can buy like THC and CBD like drinks and stuff like that. My accent was funny. I lived in Albany. I lived in Rochester long enough that maybe certain words come out a little weird, but I will tell you that I can tell you how Rochester I am. Charlie's in Webster is the best garbage play in the entire city. That's not up for debates. If some people say Dogtown. They're a little bit too hipster for my liking, but yeah, we're gonna go with that one. But yeah, no, it's just what I like doing. Just coming on here, shooting the breeze, live on the road. I'll be doing this from home. Like I said, I'm a 39-year-old guy, just kind of going through like a midlife crisis, I guess you would say. Traveling from ballpark to ballpark, discussing my trips and the life and times of a gambler, and occasionally educated sports talk or take. I might be occasionally a little bit insightful on some things, but that's just kind of what I aim to do. I ran about a half an hour here. We had some people here. Nice to meet you both, Scho-Zone. I'll reach out. Good night, gentlemen. Well, my name is Ryan, actually, but the Scho-Zone is the name of the podcast. I introduced myself as Ryan Schofield. I'm just giving a bunch of information to a stranger, but that'd be pretty exciting too if somebody did some weird shit because they were watching my show. I mean, I was thinking, there's a couple times where I wasn't saying I was calling out Minneapolis, but I was saying, this area isn't that bad. People said it was bad, and sometimes if you're in like actual gang areas, or actual shit areas, which I kind of avoided, people will get upset up at that. I want to get too in the garden, but yes, it is Dogtown, hands down. I'm not. You probably like to hang. You probably like hanging out the South Wedge, don't you, bud? Or is it a female, or is it I said guy, I assume guy, but it's nothing wrong with it. But like I said, I just prefer the Charlies. I had one the other day, and the thing is that I actually was passing back from some ballpark trips. I stopped in Rochester just a couple weeks ago, and I was in Pittsburgh and Cleveland. I want to say this was around like the 25th of July, and on the way back, I stopped in Rochester for the day. Went to a game at Frontier Field. Ate a Charlie's plate, and I filmed this whole video where you couldn't see me eating. I kind of so it wasn't that disgusting. I just kind of occasionally show how much I had eaten, and you just see me duck away, which for anyone that's watching that just was doing that, which is just, not, Well, I'm in Minneapolis. That certainly seems to be very accepted in this part of in this city. It's definitely a great city for the alternative lifestyles. I'll say. The only time my safety ever felt in jeopardy was that someone might hit me with a political attack at some point, or wanted to talk if they wanted to talk things, because I might think a little differently on certain things. I'm fine with that, all that stuff. Southwest food is almost as bad as eating Monroe Ave food. And yes, woman. Oh, okay. Well, my apologies to you. I was just I was almost gonna say lady, and I was like I was like, oh, that probably sounds pretty bad too. But I'll bring you a good gift, Jen. Okay, so yes, Jen gets the gift, not me. But all right, so I apparently I attract female listeners. I didn't know that would be a thing for me. Uh, so you girls, you need to set me up for divorce at some point, or set me up for success. But what's the email again? Sorry, I assumed as well. When you get married, you become one. Well, my email is the Scho-Zone podcast at gmail.com. So picture how my channel, the Scho-Zone, there's no hyphen in this one. It's just TheSchopodcast.com. TheSchozonepodcast.com. I'm also actually, hey, let's throw it out. Instagram. You're on Instagram, SCHO525. Same with X. Actually, Instagram is probably the best way to get us going there, Jen. Guess who's back? The comedian. That's okay. You got another joke, Sonic Kid and Mario? Where are you at, Sonic Kid? Am I meeting up with you anytime soon, or what cities am I going to? Because I might have to make a trip to Boston now at some point. And I know it'll be a 420 friendly occasion with no alcohol, which is my kind of evening. And I mean, guess I could. Cardinals up there. I think the Cardinals already played Boston this year, so I'm not gonna be able to make a Cardinals game there. Not that I would want to fucking watch the Cardinals. That's part of the whole reason this ballpark trip started. Is that seeing the Cardinals lose to the White Sox, who have almost already lost 100 games. They've already been eliminated from the division. They're 42 games out with still they're something obscene. They're just a historically bad team, and the St. Louis Cardinals I watched lose to them, lose a series, 2 out of 3 games. Jen just got to get you, man. Yeah, hey, everyone's there's somebody out there for somebody, and there's crazier ways of meeting than on a struggling podcast, or just I've only been doing this for a couple months, just kind of slowly as like a side hobby. Again, don't drink anymore, just work, have a weird job that works weird days and hours. So I pretty much just kind of said, hey, let's figure out this thing. I mean, there's less impressive people than me as far as I'm concerned, and maybe that's just I have a heightened sense of self. But I'm sure that if there's other people, like I watch some videos that I'm kind of like not just think that the person, wow, that they're definitely good at production. They're just not a good talker. And then I look and see how many people they have following them. So I'm like, okay, if they can do it, I can do it. Point of view, you're running and someone's following behind you, but it's night. Oh yeah, that's a shadow. Yeah. Shadows can freak you out sometimes at night. I mean, that's the one thing, there's definitely it's one of my favorite little activities to do when I visit these cities is that, again, maybe it's going to come back to bite me sometime, but I really do just like wandering around, and I call it urban exploring. I used to go hiking, and hiking just never did it for me. I would hike, and I don't like snakes. I'm scared of snakes. And once I saw a rattlesnake like 3 miles up a mountain, I was just like, all right, like we got away from it. And I was just like, this is just dumb. Like, and all it really is for hiking is just my friend. It's for my friends to find a good place to go smoke weed. Not that I don't get high when I do it there, but I'm really just kind of there for the exercise for the most part. So I change it now by exploring. I think I mostly avoid questionable neighborhoods even, but I'll go to the edge of them. Like there was one street I was in Minneapolis today that I then just kind of turned around. I just kind of felt like I had hit the end of the road for someone like myself. Looked like it was a bit of a project. I definitely saw some people behind a building that looked like they maybe were preparing to do some drugs. I don't know, or it was some kind of a shady transaction. There was somebody there that it looked like if it's not like it's not okay, but I do the browsing around thing, and there was a couple times walking through the city at nights. It is strange when you're by yourself on a road in a city, because Okay, it almost like it just reminds me of that movie Vanilla Sky. Get a little eerie sometimes when people when there's just nothing in a place where there's usually a lot of people, but you just gotta kind of I mean, you see if if there's anything that's kind of set back, you make sure you walk out away from it. Kind of just make sure you give a little eye to that one. It's not bad to look at your phone occasionally with your camera because you can see if there's anything going on behind you. And yeah, just kind of, if you do see anybody that makes you think you need to be concerned, just make sure you're aware of them. Make sure that they know that you know that they're there. Most people, I think, that are up to no good don't really look for people that are going to cause too much of an issue. So went through quite a that's kind of the thing of the tour of the cities I've gone to this summer. I've been to a lot of not good cities, and I was actually talking to a girl from Milwaukee yesterday cutting my hair, and I told her the part of Milwaukee I was walking through. She's like, "Oh my god, you were in like the sketchiest part." I was like, "Really?" It just didn't phase me too much in the beginning. Like I said, for the most part, I just took off my shirt and just had on a tank top and just looked like anybody else that was walking around. I had a backpack full of stuff. Maybe I had, because I had sunglasses and an Apple Watch. That made me look a little bit off. But yeah, so let's keep this one going. Maybe on the next show will be, well, do I want to go? Let's go to 11:30, 5 more minutes. So anybody have any quick questions for me before I go? Anything anyone wants to know? But, just let me know. I still got a burger to finish. I got to stop saying let me know again. A couple of things I got to work on. Not being stoned before this. What do I do for work? I'm in sales. Yeah, I gift the gab. What's your favorite game? If you're video games, haven't played video games in a very long time. My favorite game of all time, and the game I was the best at, was NHL Hits 2003. If I was to have no time, or time was not an issue anymore, and I had no responsibilities to the world, and I could, or if I was just stuck to sit inside for a week and had to have one thing, I would probably get Mario Brothers 64, for Sega or Nintendo 64. There's the 120th star. You got to get 8 red coins in the clouds. I've gotten 119 stars. I would play that game till I got 120 stars. If you could provide me all of the amphetamines possible to make that happen, that'd be great. I normally don't condone heavy drug use, but for something like that, we would need to think outside the box. I need that Walter White blue for something of that nature. What else do you got for me? I mean, yeah, so I do sales. I sell furniture. I wouldn't be shocked if Jen has heard of my company even, but we'll leave that one aside. Who's my favorite character in Super Smash Bros? I never played Super Smash Bros. I was just kind of a Super Mario fan. I remember Mario Kart. I was always a big fan of using Yoshi. I actually named one of my first pipes after Yoshi. So that was, yeah, that was that one. I guess these are my fans. I guess these are the people that are following me. Which one is better, Sonic or Mario? Whew, that's a tough one. I definitely held Sega longer than I held onto Nintendo type things. So I'm gonna say that I think that Sonic I did like that much more, just because it could be frustrating at times, especially, but I guess the music kind of gets me for it. I mean, I still remember having the code for Sonic on Sega: up, down, left, right, hold A and start. I think at the same time was how you got that one. I don't know. I guess I'll go Sonic. I probably played Sonic more, but I would go for the later on versions. You started. What do I want to talk about? Well, I guess I don't know. I don't want to. I don't think I want to talk about much more. I've been kind of going for a while. I'm tired. Uh, I haven't kind of been ignoring what's going on in the world for the past couple of days, so I'm kind of blind to that. I'll get caught up probably in the next 2 days. I got to fly out tomorrow. What do I want to talk about? I guess I want to talk about I think I forget if I ranted on this one, or you guys can also follow me on Instagram. I post a lot more stories on there. I did find my wife, yeah, and then hopefully she reached out to me again too. The Scho-Zone podcast. So Jen, send me what's up with going on the info. Maybe we'll be meeting up at some point in the future. The coffee rant I had today is that I hate when you go to a coffee place. Which, by the way, Minneapolis. That's one of the biggest issues I had walking around your city. Is Coffee on the go wasn't a big thing around here. Didn't really notice a lot of places for stuff like that. Also, corner stores, not really a big thing. I guess, for someone that says that the crime is bad, actually, this is something I can go with. For some people that say the crime may not, be bad here or something, or I saw that people tried to blame that on why the attendance isn't that great at Target Field. Maybe this is a laziness thing, or maybe they crack down on it more. I don't know. But most of the cities that I go to outside of the stadium are people trying to make money, but they're usually kind of doing some type of a service. Like shit, in Chicago, you could buy a fucking outdoor bar before you go, an entire bar worth of liquor as you're walking into the stadium. They got all kinds of guys selling beers, shooters, whatever you need on the way in there. But for someone like myself, they have bottles of water for like $2. Even in Washington, they had them. I mean, every city on the Northeast I went to, they had where you could buy a bottle of water on your way into the stadium. Not in Minneapolis. I don't know. You could buy a bottle of water in the stadium for $5. They have fountains you can fill it in, but looking at some of the people around here, I don't know if I want to really drink what's in the water around here. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of a strike there. But yeah, the coffee rants, and Caribou Coffee was the only place that I seem to find. I went to two different ones today. I think that you could probably, this is a business idea. If someone wants to follow me up on this one and, just toss me a bone if it works out for you. I think if you opened up a nice coffee place where you can carry coffee, how old am I? I'm 39 years old. If you could find a place where you could carry coffee around, you could buy a cup like this one right here, other than Caribou Coffee, which again, I had ordered to my house before, strangely, and it's kind of just based out of this area. Didn't know about that. But I think that there's a future for that. Maybe maybe they would be a little more aware and they would be up a tick if they had a little more caffeine or better caffeine sources or better coffee sources around here. But they do the thing where, again, I'm sure it's a force of habit. I drink my coffee black. I don't pump it full of this fucking all the flavor shits. That's not coffee. That's something different. So they will always ask me, do you want cream in that? And I do not want cream in it. And they leave it up to here. I think I ranted about this earlier. You know what? I am shot. I'm tired. I got a burger to eat, some ice cream to crush. Flying out tomorrow. Maybe I'll podcast from the airports. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully I got some new subscribers here. So like, share, leave a comment. Scho525, SCHO 525 on Instagram, the Scho-Zone podcast at Gmail. Drop some feedback. Ask me some things you might want to hear me talk about. Whatever you want, I'm here for you guys, and hopefully you guys keep coming back here for me. Thanks for joining me.